Hello, hello.
Yeah, what is good, Broham meme?
What's good? What's good, brother? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. So, uh, what a season.
Abs-
Oh, what a season. We got the Swifties on board. We got the two teams that nobody wanted to see on in the Super Bowl play against each other in the Super Bowl. We liked it in Super Bowl,
Absolutely.
but now they're playing now again. So tell me, what do you think, bro? What do you think of the Super Bowl? What is your analysis, opinions? What is it?
Man. First of all, man. First of all, man. This is the one year I would say I am not excited about Super Bowl, man. The one year I'm not hyped. I'm not excited. You know, on one end, you got. Let's start off with the team I really don't want to talk about the most, the Chiefs.
Mm.
Why? Because of the Taylor Swift, the Swifties. I want to make it clear. Swifties, you guys should not run football. Y'all just joined. Taylor Swift and the rest of the fan base can go away.
All way.
Keep it as clean as possible. Keep it as clean as possible because I want to just talk about football. Now let's take it back down, man. Let's talk about our boy Patty Mahomes now, man. First of all, let's break down the team. The Chiefs alone, man, have not only just offense, they got defense. They got on the offense, they got Patty Mahomes, Kelsey, Rice. They got you know, they have an elite squad of guys for their offense, man. And if when you take a look at all the teams that they have beat, right? They've taken down the great Ravens, the team that that a lot of people thought would have been that team that made it. You know, uh, like you know, last what was it? Yeah, when Patty Mahomes went up against Lamar Jackson, he was 30 for 39, 241 yards, one touchdown, while Lamar Jackson was 20 for 37, 272 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Right? Uh, Isaiah with 24 carries, 68 yards, and one touchdown. Travis Kelsey, 11 receptions, 116 yards, one touchdown. And I guarantee you, Taylor Swift gave him a lot of love for that one,
Yeah.
right? So just breaking it down, man, like the offense, because for Lamar Jackson, like don't get me wrong, like that game, I guarantee you, he wasn't expecting that loss to come the way it did, right? Like you're looking at a guy when he played against the Dolphins back in December 31st, had 321 yards, five TDs, and zero interceptions. But it's not about Lamar Jackson; it's about Patty Mahomes, right? Patty Mahomes has alone been in this league for a few years now, right? And his success rate alone, going down the path that he goes down, man, again, man, if he wins tomorrow, which the Chiefs are most likely to win, right? The 49ers are the underdog, right? So of course, I'm going with the basis of the Chiefs winning. But when I'm looking at the money wise, since the underdog of the game, if they win, it's the 49ers, they bring in a lot more money. But the Chiefs have, experience. They got the players, they got the talent. But again, man, we've mentioned this a few times. The 49ers are a team not to put aside. Brock Purdy, man, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Nick Bosa, George Kittle, Chase Young, um, Trent Williams, Fred Warner, um, you know, uh, Jake Moody, all these guys, man. Like, you got to take into account, man, that, overall the 49ers have just they have the talent. They have the talent, but they went up against the Lions not that long ago, man. And truthfully, man, in many ways, people did see it as the Lions, although the Lions messed up with with a lot to do, but I'm not going to break down that game, you know. Overall, man, if you really take into account the 49ers are a strong team. Now, they're going up against the toughest team in the NFL, which is Patty Mahomes and their Chiefs. Now, this could go one of two ways, right? Um, Either if it's Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs winning, the Chiefs, I can honestly see the game on one end, I can see the game either being close. If the 49ers win the game, I can see the game being close. But if the Chiefs win, man, I think it's gonna be by a touchdown or two or more. If they don't stop Patty Mahomes at the very beginning and that defense really gets the ground floor running. Because if God knows if when the Chiefs defense goes up against Purdy's offense, they need to start scoring because if that defense stops them and gives Patty Mahomes more time to just continue to score, I'm telling you, this is going to be uh, uh, a Super Bowl that the 49ers would want to not remember. So that's my analysis so far, man. I want to hear what you guys say, man.
Yeah, like I agree with you. Like with me and my analysis, honestly, to be honest with you, I am pretty shocked. Like both teams are in this, right? Because we
Absolutely.
because we thought, I mean, the Eagles aren't in it, but I mean, I didn't think the Eagles would actually even
Okay,
make the Super
did you
Bowl.
have to bring that up, man?
I'm
Did you
sorry.
have to bring that up, man?
Yo, but hear me out though. Okay.
Okay.
I didn't think the Eagles will obviously make it to the Super Bowl. Not obviously, but us being Eagle fans, when you want your team to win, like when you get too giddy about your team winning, that's when it doesn't happen. Like as any sports fans knows who is a diehard fan of their favorite team. That's just the cardinal rule for some reason. Um, but another thing too is you had Baltimore, you had um who else was kind of hot? Like, Cowboys.
Oh, please don't mention
Oh,
them now.
but like the thing is, I did not expect Kansas City to make it, right? I actually honestly even thought that Buffalo may even have a chance because I know they kind of
Trust me, that would have been nice.
yeah, they started off slow, but once they got the ball rolling, it seemed like, okay, this is the year that Josh Allen could do it, right? Because my theory is the team that's always the most quiet, right? The team that makes the least amount of errors all throughout the season. I'm not just talking about like, oh, like they had a slow start and then all of a sudden became like went on a roll, right? I'm talking about from beginning of the season to the end of the season. Usually the team that puts their head down has the least amount of errors. Sure, they may have a couple of losses, like they may lose a little bit more than they need to be able to be that great team, right?
Okay, but let me ask you this, though.
Yeah,
Let me ask you this, man, because if you take a look at this, man, let's really look because listen, man, you got to remember for everyone who doesn't want to play fantasy, I had Josh Allen,
yeah,
right? I had Josh Allen. I'm a believer in the Bills. They're my go-to team when my Eagles are out,
right.
right? So, let me ask you this, man. Let me ask you this. Because you were saying basically on the fact that if, you know, they were the quiet team, but also if you look at their season overall, right? Their record, right? They played up against the Bills played so they
How many
when they
games did
first
they
so
lose in a row? How many games did they win in a row? Is it six, right? Like to end the
six,
season.
yeah, 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 right? But I like the thing is the Bills over the last few years have been an exceptional team.
Yeah,
Josh Allen, and there's no question about that. I'm not even going to take that away from them. Their biggest issue, though, is they have never been able to beat Patty Mahomes,
right,
even with the success of how good this team is. Like, if this team was, like, for example, man, if this team was in the NFC, it'd be dominating.
right. You think
It'd be
so?
dominating. Yo, it'd probably be in the Super Bowl more times
Do you
at
think
this point.
do you think they're a better team than the Niners?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so
100%. Like, okay, like, okay, let me change that statement. Quarterback wise, their team is better.
yeah,
Leadership wise, the team is better. But overall talent wise, the 49ers have a better chance.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The 49ers have the talent, but under leadership, because here's the thing, when you look at the Bills, right? The Bills have Stephon Diggs, James Cook, Vaughn Miller, Josh Allen. Who else do they got? What's his name? What's the Douglas? Douglas, right? Um, Terrell Bernard. Uh, you know, who else? What's his name? What's his name, man?
Who you think?
Latavius Murray. That's what I'm thinking of. Uh, so like, uh, what's his name, man? I'm blanking on the name. Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox. They have like an overall team, but again, it's because of the leadership these guys have, right? And the quarterback like Josh Allen. Like they have the capabilities to being that team, just with good leadership to be successful. But overall, what Purdy has around him is talent, just pure talent. Like, you can't get any like luckier than that to have just pure talent, man. You have a guy like Christian McCaffrey. You got a guy like Deebo Samuels, man. Nick Bosa, George Kittle, man. Like, yo, these guys, he has a good talent around him, right?
Yeah, but
But
here's what when I say like good teams, right?
mhm, mhm,
When I say like the teams that are the quietest, I'm talking about like the teams that they put their heads down, like the Ravens. The Ravens are a perfect example. And here's my theory: it's the team that has it's not necessarily who you beat. It is who you beat, but it's also who you lose to. That's what I mean. It's like the team that I think has the most like the least amount of suspect losses. Like if I see your record is good. Like let's take the
mhm,
Milwaukee Bucks for example. Because here's the thing. People always say regular season doesn't matter, but playoffs do. I
mhm,
disagree with that sentiment because of the fact
mhm,
that yes, you may see a team
mhm,
doing well. Ooh, they're good. And then
mhm,
when they lose, they're like, oh, when they lose early in the playoffs, everyone's like, oh, we didn't see this coming. Well,
mhm,
did you pay attention to that team all throughout the season? Because
mhm,
the 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 evidence was there. You know what I'm saying?
mhm, mhm,
Evidence was there. When you have
mhm,
certain suspect losses, it messes like it goes to show you, okay, this team will not be good. Like
mhm,
let's get away from football for a second. Let's go to basketball. Like when the Milwaukee Bucks got the upset against the Miami Heat, or when
mhm,
Miami Heat upset the Bucks.
mhm,
They may have not played like they may have the Heat throughout the season may have not played well. Their records may have not reflected well because Bill
mhm,
Parcells set the perfect had the perfect saying, "You are what your record says you are," which is true. But also, who did you beat and who did you lose to? If you had certain suspect losses, or if you're the team that
mhm,
had a lot of that lost a little bit more than they should have, but you beat some incredibly good teams. You beat some really tough teams. That's gonna spill over to the playoffs because then then you see the team's confidence is up. then you see the team is more.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, because now when you say that, right? When you say that, right? Let's take a look at it from the 49ers perspective, right?
Yeah,
Now, the 49ers, don't get me wrong, they beat the Lions, right? Which was the one team we could have assumed would have made it,
right.
right? But now let's take a look at the Chiefs.
They
The
had
Chiefs
that's why
basically,
I say the season's an anomaly because the Chiefs had a lot of suspect losses, which is why I'm
but
surprised they
again,
were Super Bowl.
the Chiefs have beaten the Bills. The Chiefs have beaten the Ravens, which was
Yeah,
the team everybody had mostly suspected to win or even be plus win this year's Super Bowl. And
exactly.
they didn't. So, like, that's when on that side, like, think about it. The one team that the 49ers beat was the Lions.
Yeah.
Like, the Packers, like, don't get me wrong. Like, the Packers, who would be stressed about the Packers?
No
Who's,
one will be
who's
stressed about the Packers, but the Pack
right? The Lions were, and when you look at the game, the Lions messed up the game themselves. They
exactly.
easily would have been. They easily would have been right. The Chiefs, the Ravens didn't mess up the game. Don't Lamar Jackson had a good game. He just went up against a better team,
Yeah.
right? Like that's what I'm saying, right? But continue what you're saying.
But that's what I'm saying, where I say, like, here's the thing, right? I'm talking about the regular season, right? When the regular season was playoffs. Because going to the playoffs, right? With the Eagles, we saw, and I hate to bring up the Eagles, but they're a perfect example. We saw they started off 10-1, and then they started to collapse, and then they started to have very suspect losses, losing to the Cardinals at home.
But but
Losing-
again, man, we've all seen that because like I said, man, we've all seen throughout sports history that teams who have a decent to mediocre regular season, or even with the best regular season wins, right? What really counts is when they go into the playoffs.
Exactly.
That's what matters. But again, so far the Chiefs have had more of a better playoff presence compared to they've played against the best of the best teams
But remember,
compared to the
that comes
49ers.
with experience. That comes the Chiefs are at the point where see, and that's another thing too, when what that people don't mention when they say playoff matters, not the regular season. The teams that the teams that this kind of applies to, there is like if you go to again, we go to basketball, right? The Warriors, we look at the Warriors. The Warriors may have not had the best season last year. They were the sixth seed.
Mhm,
But come
mhm.
in the playoffs, they beat the Kings because they had more experience, and then they took the
Yeah.
like games. But also look at the Lakers too. The Lakers with the seventh seed made it to the conference finals. They have players that have experience, right? So they can kind
Okay,
of on the
but
lure.
again with experience,
And that applies to the Chiefs. Chiefs have been
but
to
again, but
five.
again with experience. But again, let's take out experience because we've seen teams with experience who have lost,
Yeah.
right? So I'm not even basing it off of just the Chiefs' experience. We've seen it with the Patriots when they lost to the Giants,
Right,
right?
exactly.
We've seen it, right? The difference is that right teams that people one like midway through the season, man, no one would like realistically the teams that people saw making it to the Super Bowl were the Lions, the Ravens. 49ers were on teams that people did assume would make it to the Super Bowl.
But
But
they
this
got
year,
experience.
no one expected because of how like mid the Chiefs were playing to like I wouldn't say they were mid, but the
They were
Chiefs
mid though.
weren't what
They were mid though. Because that's
right,
again,
but no one expected the Chiefs to be the team that made it to the Super Bowl,
exactly. And that's
right? So no, continue.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, because you got to look at the Chiefs. Because like I was going to come to this point with the
Hmm
Chiefs, they're heavily favored. but that's but that's
because
because
they're the most experienced team.
you're the most experienced team, and then they beat the two best teams in the AFC. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They beat they beat the Ravens, and then they beat the Bills the
Bills.
week prior, right? And then they beat
Hmm.
another team that was hot. That was actually hot. The Dolphins, right? They beat the three teams that actually had a way better regular season than the Chiefs did. Because
No,
the Chiefs
100%.
had playoff. They had the um even though the Chiefs had home field advantage against the Dolphins in the playoffs, coming into
Hmm.
that season, the Dolphins were good, but they're another team
Hmm.
that kind of what's the word that I'm trying to look for? They kind of they I can't think of the word. I can't think of the word that I'm trying to the but like they kind of like I can't think of the word. It'll come to me. But they're kind of the team that I'm talking about, where
Hmm.
they had a good regular season, but they couldn't really beat playoff teams. The teams that ended up making it to the playoffs, or a team that had like a winning record, they couldn't really beat them. They were beating a
Who
bunch
are you
of
talking about?
the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They were
Hmm.
beating a bunch of like lower ranked teams. Um
But the thing with what the Dolphins were lacking was the Dolphins were always lacking with their defense.
yeah.
Offense was never an issue. They have all the offensive talent in the world. They just need, if the second the Dolphins change up their defense, fix their defense up, man. The same with the Eagles, because again, man, if you look at our Eagles, we have a good offensive line. I'm not even stressed about the offense, but the issue that we have is the fact that the defense needs to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We've always, our biggest thing on the Eagles has always been their defense, right? We don't ever stress about the offense as much. We always stress about the defense. The second the defense is doing their job and it's the offense, we can switch it up, right? But like, no, but I do agree with what you're saying though. I do agree with what you're saying though. Like the Dolphins haven't really played any. They have played some low level teams, right? But the Chiefs on the other hand, man, they've knocked out, and it's not like, like the 49ers themselves, man, they they barely beat the Packers. They barely beat the Lions, and they're gonna carry the same attitude with the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
think
I get where you're coming from. They haven't really dominated. They haven't I get what you're saying. They haven't dominated in their wins. They haven't had that win where you're like, oh snap, look out for this team.
right.
The Ravens,
The only
had that.
teams,
The
yeah,
Ravens,
but the Chiefs,
the
but because
Chiefs had
remember,
that.
the toughest team the Chiefs played, by the looks of it, was the Bills.
Yeah.
They barely beat the Bills, but when they played against the Dolphins, they destroyed the Dolphins. They
And then
come into
and then for the most part in the Ravens game, they look pretty comfortable against the Ravens.
100%,
You
a
know?
100%, man. And that's why, man, I don't know how or what the 49ers are gonna do when they go up against a team like the Chiefs, because the Chiefs have annihilated, and their toughest game so far was the Bills, and the Bills aren't in
Yeah. But see,
because
the Bills could have won too. But the Bills kind of shot themselves in the leg, kind of like the Lions did. You
but
have those
again,
two teams that shot
but
themselves
that
in
was a divisional round. Now it would have been different. It would have been different if, but then the Chiefs went on to the conference championships and
yeah,
took care of Baltimore.
right.
And now when it's the Lions versus the 49ers in the divisional in the championship round, they didn't they screwed themselves over. And they think they're gonna, if the 49ers come with that same attitude, thinking they're going up against a team like yo, That's why I'm saying this could either go two ways. If the 49ers happen to win, the games are going to be close.
Yeah.
If the Chiefs win this game and the 49ers do not somehow are able to stop Mahomes some way, somehow, they will get eaten alive
And
because
and
Patty Mahomes is coming for that Super Bowl win, man.
yeah, and here's the thing what I want to say, right? Their receivers, one thing I wanted to say too, that their receivers were like the receivers, we heard that like their receivers were not doing well. Their receivers were not good. Their receivers were lack they were lackluster all
Which
throughout
team are you talking about?
the Chiefs. We heard like the
Yeah,
Chiefs, I think, led the league in most pass dropped or in
yeah,
most dropped passes by their
yeah,
receivers. So
yeah,
when you see the 49ers, their receiving core is much better than the 49ers. You have Kelsey. Yeah, we understand. We know what Kelsey does. But Kelsey
yeah.
is also not when it comes to going deep, like obviously the usual like the usual passing routes, you need your receivers, right?
Well, trust me. No, I get what you're saying.
And that's what the
49ers do have
49ers
the
have
better
over them.
offensive talent.
They have a more dynamic offense, the 49ers, more versatile offense, right? They have
Yeah.
everything that the Chiefs like offensively, you can the 49ers are much better than the Chiefs. Like obviously quarterback to quarterback, I mean that's you give Mahomes the nod
Okay,
over Purdy, right?
but
But
okay, so but basically what you're saying is the 49ers are better on paper, statistically wise, with the team that they have, right? But the
offensively,
question
yeah,
is,
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm saying that overall, actually. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So on
But they're
paper,
still
they
favored.
look better because of the talent, the offensive talent that they have. Like we see the talent that they have, and that's why they're honestly capable of winning. I'm not saying they can't win, but I'm saying if they don't come with their head in the game and they do not defensively stop Mahomes, because remember now I'm not worried about the offense. It doesn't matter about the offense on the Chiefs end. I'm talking about if the defense, because remember the strongest part about the Chiefs was what because we give it to Mahomes, but it's
Yeah.
the Chiefs defense that is the tough part.
Yeah. Like the defense is the tough part. Like the defense is the tough part for the Chiefs. The Chiefs, the 49ers defense is better than the Chiefs. Okay. But that's
No,
what
no,
I'm
no, no. I know. I was saying the Chiefs defense is better than the 49ers.
oh, but here's the thing that I'm thinking too. Like, like how are they favored? Like that's what I'm saying. This is where I say the season's an anomaly. That's why I say I'm shocked that the Chiefs even got there. But they did it through experience. They did it through being the more aggressive team because that's where the upsets come through. You always realize
Mm.
the team that um upsets the better team like that like goes in there and like has the upset win, like for example, the Packers against the Cowboys or the who else? Who else? I think that was probably the only upset win that happened, or like what the Chiefs have done, right? Is the team that's the most aggressive, the team that plays with the nothing to lose mentality. Because what do the Chiefs really have to lose if they lose this year? They already
That's
have
the thing.
they already have 6 AFC championship appearance. They don't really need to prove themselves, which is
But
probably
here's the
what
thing. That's the
helped.
most dangerous part about the Chiefs. They got nothing to lose.
Yeah,
With the 49ers, this is everything for them at this point in time.
because
This
they've
is
worked so hard. They've been building this process for so
but that's what makes them like the greatest thing you always hear that saying, the worst person in the world to fight is the guy that has nothing to lose,
exactly.
right? And that's what makes the Chiefs so dangerous. They have nothing to prove here. If they
Yeah.
lose, they had another Super Bowl appearance. They lost to the 49ers, right? Whereas if they win, then boom, everyone gives them praise. Oh, and then all the Swifties, Taylor Swift merch rises, her songs rises, Kelsey's jersey price rises, boom, whatever,
Yeah.
right? So you have to, so like, that's why, man, but the 49ers are in for a rude awakening because the Chiefs have nothing to lose.
Exactly. Exactly.
The
Now,
49ers, the 49ers, listen, there will be around for some time, but this is their one shot to winning. This is their one big shot to winning. Because yo, listen, they made it this far, and if they want to be able to have that, because again, this is their one opportunity. We said this with the Ravens. Ravens missed their opportunity to win their Super Bowl. Lamar
yeah,
Jackson missed it. He's not going to get another opportunity like this, or at least I don't see another opportunity for him to get it like this, because you know he's he's in the AFC. That's one of the toughest. It is literally the toughest of
it
conference.
surpassed the NFC. Because remember, especially in the Brady year, especially when Brady was there, right? What were they saying? He plays in the worst division, one of the worst divisions in NFL, or and even going past that, he plays in one of the worst conferences. Even though you had the Steelers and for the most part the Ravens, because the Ravens were good in like that decade, the previous decade, the 2010s, right? And then but then when Mahomes and them came up, like Mahomes, the Bills, even the
Yeah,
Bengals, that's when the NFC AFC started to become a lot tougher. And
absolutely,
and then
man.
you saw a lot, and then you saw a lot of the quarterbacks like Russell Wilson. They left the AFC. Aaron Rodgers left the AFC. So you're starting to see that too. And then you're really starting to see that the NFC is really top heavy. You know what I'm saying? But that's where I'm trying to, and then that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
The NFC is really not top heavy, man. Like, yo, think about it, man. Like, right
oh,
on
I take that back. I take that back because there are some teams that like
no,
could
think
make the
about it.
playoffs in any
The
given year, but
49ers,
because of the
the
division that they're
49ers,
playing in, not so much.
like think about it, man. The only teams that are good in the NFC, Cowboys, Eagles, 49ers, Lions, like yeah, I can't really say maybe the Rams. Put them
Yeah,
on a list. Whereas
yeah,
on the
yeah.
AFC, you have the Bills, you have the Dolphins, the Chiefs, Ravens, Browns, right? Like the Bengals weren't so good this year for we all know why. The Texans, Jaguars. There's more heat sitting on the AFC compared to the NFC, right? That's why I know for a fact that's why at this point in time, Mahomes went through the grill on his end, and he's been wiping through the teams to make it to the Super Bowl. The team that he struggled with the most was the Bills, and that's the one team he always ends up struggling with,
Yeah.
right? So
It is like I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from, man.
so,
Listen,
but who do you think's gonna win though? Is the question.
yeah,
Who do
okay.
you think?
So here's my theory, okay? So I will give it to based on merit, based on experience, based on whatever. I will say the Chiefs will win, and I know that's like because a shameless plug here. If you guys haven't seen the shirt that I made about my 49er theory, right? 29 years they last played in Super Bowl 29. I put that on the channel, and then obviously it's on TikTok. And depending on
Yeah,
if I'm right or not, I'll make a video expanding on that theory, on theories, right? But I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, right?
yeah, man.
Based on
Like
based on
I do have the Chiefs winning. Like
based on
I do believe the Chiefs are
experience,
gonna
right?
win, but it would be nice to see the 49ers, an underdog team, come up with the win
Yeah,
on this one.
of course, right? And
Money
then
wise, if you're betting, go with the 49ers because that will bring you in the most money.
yeah,
Chiefs, yeah, that's the safest bet for most people. And and I'm not agreeing because of the Swifties, so I don't want them going like, "Oh, shoot, you're a Swiftie fan." I'm definitely not. Never will be. Don't even listen to her music. Won't ever listen to her music. Well, like in the words of Ti years ago, before he actually did a sang alongside with Taylor Swift. It's either you want to go to Hollywood or you want to go through career suicide. I'd rather go through career suicide.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, like you said, I got like okay, the X factors for the 49ers winning though, they got to look at their receiving core. Because that's the one strength that they have over the Chiefs is their receiving core, right? They have a much more dynamic offense. You use Christian McCaffrey more, right? O-line, everything. Everything from top to bottom. The best all-around offense in the NFL is the 49ers, and it's been like that for the past.
But they're going up against the Chiefs' tough defense, and
Tough.
the Chiefs have a good offense
So that's your
already.
X factor.
Yeah, so the X factor is the Chiefs' defense going up against the 49ers' offense. Now, the 49ers' defense isn't strong enough to hold down the Chiefs' offense.
Mm.
So that's where it's going to become difficult because if the 49ers offense is getting stopped by the Chiefs defense and the Chiefs are running through that the Chiefs offense is running through the 49ers defense, oh, they're going to have trouble for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got them winning, and then um, yeah, I got them winning, and then what was I gonna say? Um, yeah, coaching. Honestly, as far as coaching goes, it's pretty even. I know Andy Reid's a legend, but Kyle Shanahan has proven that he's top three best coaches in the league. It's
Of
him,
course not. Yo,
right?
no matter honestly, man, no matter what, man, it's gonna be interesting. These are two teams we both never saw coming, but it's happening.
Yeah,
But like again, no matter what, no one's excited, no one's happy about it. But it's all about being a true sports fan and kind
yeah,
of watching history in the making as it goes.
yeah, of course. And what do you predict the score of the game to be?
Like I said, that's why I was saying, like, if the Chiefs win, but the 49ers defense isn't holding back, the Chiefs, I can see them winning by 2 or 3 touchdowns with the 49ers scoring 1 or 2.
Oh, whoa.
But I can see the Chiefs scoring like 2 or 3 touchdowns or even if the score ends with the Chiefs offense kicking butt, I would say they'll have like a 1 or 2 touchdown lead.
Oh shit. Okay.
But if the 49ers end up coming through, that defense stops them and the 49ers are and with the offense that the 49ers have and able to surpass the Chiefs defense, then I could see it being a close game. I would say like maybe max three. Like I would say like 3 points to a touchdown more than the Chiefs if the 49ers win.
All right. Okay, okay. Yeah. And then because we have less than a minute left. I have to ask this question because we've been talking about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So according to statistics, last year's Super Bowl was the most viewed television program in US history, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
There we go. I
on
already know
live
where it's
television.
going.
So with the
Mm-hmm.
Swifties coming in with all this publication or with all this thing that's coming, how many views do you think they're gonna do?
They'll probably break a record this year,
And do you think it's gonna be
more than last year for sure.
more than last year and then more than the moon landing? Because they're saying that's the most viewed thing on.
Listen, the Swifties have the NFL's already seen a huge increase in viewerships
Mm,
since the Swifties have been a part of it. So
mm,
for sure, with the Chiefs now
All right, man. All right. Just to end it, we're just like that. We're back. Just to end this call this video. What are you saying like towards the end, you know?
Yeah, basically, man, like I was saying, man, it can go either way, on the outlook of the win. Like I said, with the 49ers, if the 49ers are able to offensively attack defense and their defense is able to stop Mahomes and the Chiefs offense, I can either see them winning by a touchdown or like through, I would say like a field goal or a touchdown,
Yeah,
right? But if it's the other way around and the Chiefs are like full on dominating, where they're destroying the 49ers offense, defense, and the Chiefs defense is just out there stopping Purdy, Debo, and the rest of the 49ers squad in their tracks. I can see the Chiefs winning by, I would say, let's say, two touchdowns.
no. We got yeah. No, no. I think now that I remember, we ended on the viewerships that this thing is gonna get.
Oh, the viewerships, yeah, for sure. I think they're definitely gonna break a record with, because you take out the football fans, man. You know, you take out the football fan base, right? Like how many what's the global number, would you say?
They say it's like 115 or something like that. Yo, honestly, yo, don't be surprised if this like flirts with
Breaks records.
200 million
It will, man. It will. Yo,
200 million.
Taylor Swift has one of the biggest fan bases worldwide, and with Kelsey making it, this is gonna be huge,
Yeah,
right? Like ticket sales for this game is already up price more than it was last year's,
yeah,
right? So this is gonna be huge for sure, man.
yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. That's it, man. That's basically it. Yeah, we're done. And yeah, I really wish Detroit made it, but unfortunately not,
I
man.
really wish the Ravens made it, but we both can't be happy, man.
Exactly. Yeah. Next year, man. Next year.
Next year, hopefully the Eagles make it.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, we gotta when this thing is over, we gotta have a conversation about the off season and stuff. Because see, this decade, bro, I'm very happy with football. This decade started well with football, despite all the hoopla about Taylor Swift.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, yeah, a bunch of hoopla, a
Yeah,
bunch of
bunch
hoopla,
of football has never been in a better place, like, you know.
uh,
So
except allowing the Swifties to come in it.
yeah, allowing the Swifties, yeah, unfortunately. All right, bro. All right, yo. You already know. Link up. This episode will be up in, I mean, before the game. So, yeah, look out for the episode and look out for other videos. And just to let you guys know, we are on Anchor, not just YouTube, but we're on Anchor. And for the people who listen on Anchor, we're on YouTube, and for the people who listen on YouTube, we are on Anchor. So Anchor is through Spotify. You can listen to us, and that's basically what it's gonna be. Any videos that I put out on YouTube, you can listen to an audio version of it on Anchor or on Spotify. Because depending on how long some of my videos are, if you guys don't have the time to watch it on YouTube, you guys have Anchor to, you know, or Spotify to be able to listen to the latest episode. So that's what I wanted to say. All right, bro. All right, man. Easy, bro.
Easy, brother.